Chosen One, October 3rd, Legendary Day. Miracle arrives. This is not just a date circled on a calendar, not just another sunrise or another sunset. This is a divine appointment, a moment etched into the fabric of destiny, where heaven's orchestration meets earth's expectation. October 3rd has been set apart as a legendary day, one where the word miracle stops being just an echo of hope in your heart and becomes a living, undeniable reality. The air of this day carries more than routine. It carries prophecy. The clock on this day is not moving with ordinary seconds, but with the rhythm of heaven, and you will feel the weight of something extraordinary pressing into your world. For too long, you have been told to wait, to hold on, to keep believing. But this is not a day of delay. This is the day where God Himself unfolds something legendary before your eyes. Chosen One, watch this video until the end, because every part of it is designed to align your spirit with what God has already prepared. And write your warmest wishes in the comments. Let your heart release what it longs for, and type the number 777 beside it. This number is not random. It carries energy, alignment, and resonance with the universe. By doing this, you are not just writing words, you are setting a spark in motion. You are breathing power into your wishes and allowing them to energize the unseen. You are saying yes to miracles, yes to legendary days, yes to divine arrivals. Now, Chosen One, press the hype button under the video and like this video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. Think about what makes a day legendary. It's not only about events happening around you. It's about what shifts within you. When God marks a day, He layers it with significance that cannot be erased by doubt, fear, or circumstance. A legendary day is a culmination of preparation, faith, and divine timing colliding into one undeniable reality. October 3rd has been marked in the invisible long before you even knew to pay attention to it. God has been weaving threads behind the scenes, threads of provision, of answers, of breakthrough, and He has chosen this day to let them all converge. This is not about luck. This is about divine alignment. October 3rd will feel like the moment when the fog lifts, and you see clearly what has been building all along. That financial provision you thought would never arrive suddenly appears. That relationship you thought was too far gone suddenly restores itself with a word, a gesture, a miracle. That dream you carried so long begins to breathe, as if life itself decided to fill it with new wind. The miracle does not just arrive quietly. It arrives with weight, with evidence, with a sense that the entire universe had been waiting for this unveiling. Chosen One, when God moves, He does not move halfway. He does not tease you with glimpses and leave you starving for completion. He completes what He begins. October 3rd is legendary because it represents God's signature on your story. His declaration that you have not been forgotten. His announcement that what you prayed for in secret is now ready to be displayed in the open. The miracle arriving is not fragile. It is strong enough to change the trajectory of your life, bold enough to silence the doubts, radiant enough to blind the voices of opposition that told you it would never happen. It is legendary because it carries permanence. Some days pass and fade into memory, but some days stay carved into the heart forever. October 3rd will be one of those days. The details may differ for each person. Some will see finances move, some will witness healing, some will embrace reconciliation, some will finally step into opportunities that felt blocked for years, but the essence is the same. A miracle arrives, and when it does, it leaves a mark that can never be undone. Think of this as the arrival of a long-awaited guest. You prepared the house, you waited at the window, you wondered if the knock would ever come. And then suddenly, without fanfare, without warning, the knock is there. You open the door, and the miracle stands before you. This is what October 3rd carries. That legendary moment where waiting is over and living begins. That unmistakable sense that God remembered you, that heaven shifted for you, that your name was not left out of the roll call of blessing. The miracle arrives not because of chance, but because of promise. Legendary days are not written by accident. They are carved into existence by the hand of God Himself. This is why your heart feels stirred, even as you hear these words. It is not just storytelling. It is resonance. It is your soul recognizing that what you longed for is not far away, not hidden in the shadows of another year, but here, now, today. October 3rd is legendary because it interrupts the ordinary with the extraordinary, because it places you in the center of a story only God could write. The rest of this day will not feel like other days. The conversations you have will carry weight. The places you step will feel infused with purpose. Even the way you breathe will seem lighter, freer, as if your body already knows something your mind is still catching up to. That is the power of legendary timing. That is the certainty of a miracle in motion. The world may see it as coincidence, but you will know it was God all along. The miracle that arrives on October 3rd is not simply an answer to a prayer. It is the manifestation of divine timing converging with the endurance of your faith. Every step you have walked, every tear you have cried, every sleepless night where your thoughts battled between hope and despair, none of it was wasted. All of it was the preparation for this moment. God does not release miracles randomly. He measures them against the strength He has built within you. October 3rd is proof that you were being made ready for something far greater than you could imagine. What felt like delays were in truth alignments. What seemed like rejection was actually redirection. And what looked like silence was simply God setting the stage for this legendary unveiling. On this day, you will sense that everything has shifted. There is an atmosphere you cannot explain with logic, but cannot deny with feeling. You may wake up with an unusual energy coursing through you, a pull in your spirit that something is about to happen. Even the smallest details will feel significant. Words spoken in passing, unexpected phone calls, sudden opportunities that seem to appear out of nowhere. These are not accidents. These are the markers of a legendary day unfolding. The miracle does not arrive timidly. It arrives boldly, taking up space in your life and rewriting what you thought was unchangeable. Chosen one, think about how stories of breakthrough are told. They are often remembered not for the years of struggle leading up to them, but for the singular moment when everything changed. October 3rd is that kind of day for you. People will look at your life and remember not the hardships, but the turning point. They will recall the shift, the undeniable evidence of something divine touching your journey. And when they ask how it happened, the only answer that will suffice is that God ordained it. The fingerprints of heaven will be all over your testimony, leaving no room for doubt about where the miracle came from. There is power in a day that is legendary. It doesn't just bless you, it changes the atmosphere around you. When a miracle arrives, it reverberates outward, touching not only your circumstances, but also the lives of those connected to you. The provision that comes to your hands may open doors for others. The healing that flows into your body may inspire faith in someone else. The opportunity that appears before you may create pathways for many who come after you. October 3rd is legendary not just because of what it means for you, but because of what it means for those who will witness it. God writes legendary days so that testimonies can echo beyond a single life. This is the kind of day where what was heavy becomes light, where what was broken becomes whole, where what was closed suddenly swings open. Think of all the doors that seemed locked tight, the ones you knocked on until your hands grew weary, the ones you wept in front of believing they would never open. October 3rd is when those doors respond not to your strength, but to divine command. The miracle does not require your striving. It requires your awareness. It is God Himself saying, "This is the day." And when He declares a day legendary, nothing and no one can deny its power. Chosen one, the miracle that arrives today may not look exactly like what you envisioned. Sometimes God gives us what we asked for. Other times, He gives us what we needed all along. Do not be surprised if the legendary gift of October 3rd surpasses your expectations, takes shape in a way you never imagined, or arrives through channels you didn't even consider. Legendary days are filled with surprises, with sudden shifts that leave you in awe of how perfectly orchestrated everything was. You will see how even disappointments, detours, and delays had a role to play in bringing you to this moment. October 3rd is legendary because it silences doubt. For so long, voices inside and around you may have whispered that miracles are for others, that breakthrough has skipped your name, that perhaps your waiting would stretch endlessly into the future. But when the miracle arrives on this day, it shuts down every doubt, every lie, every shadow of disbelief. You will stand in the glow of something undeniable, and no explanation will be needed. The miracle itself will testify. The day itself will shine with evidence. The shift will be so real that you will no longer wonder if it's possible. You will know it is. The way God works is often hidden until the very moment of unveiling. Think of seeds buried in the earth. For a long time, it seems as though nothing is happening. The soil looks the same day after day, and you may even begin to believe the seed is lost. But beneath the surface, unseen growth is taking place. Roots are stretching. Life is forming. Strength is being built. And then, suddenly, at the appointed time, the seed breaks through the ground. October 3rd is that kind of breakthrough. The miracle you thought had been buried, forgotten, or denied is suddenly breaking the surface of your reality. What was hidden is revealed. What was unseen becomes undeniable. There will be people who question how this came about. They will wonder how so much could change in a single day. They will look for logical explanations, for natural reasons to explain a supernatural event. But they will not find them. The only truth that will remain is that God authored it. Legendary days cannot be reduced to coincidence. They defy human calculation. They stand as monuments to divine power. October 3rd will be remembered as such a monument in your life, the day when heaven touched earth and wrote a story no one could have scripted. When October 3rd arrives, you are stepping into a kind of atmosphere that feels drenched in meaning. It is not like other mornings where the sky just holds the usual colors. This day carries a glow, as if creation itself leans in to watch what God is about to do. Every hour of it holds potential, and every minute seems charged with invisible electricity. There are days when time feels ordinary, and then there are days when time feels like destiny. October 3rd is the latter. It is a date infused with a divine pulse, a reminder that God does not forget the prayers spoken in silence, the sacrifices nobody saw, the endurance that cost you nights of rest. This day is His answer, written in bold letters across your reality. The miracle arriving on this day is not meant to brush lightly across your life. It is meant to anchor itself deeply, to plant permanence where there was once instability. For so long, you may have lived with uncertainty, wondering when provision would come, when opportunity would appear, when the tides would finally shift. This day silences uncertainty. It is not a fleeting blessing that evaporates like mist. It is a miracle that takes root, reshaping not only your present, but also your future. God moves in such a way that the impact of this day will ripple across years. You will look back months, even decades from now, and trace the turning point back to October 3rd, the legendary day that marked the change. There is also something poetic about how God chooses His timing. He allows seasons to stretch longer than you expect, so that when the shift finally arrives, it is unmistakable. If miracles came every other day, they would lose their power to astound. But when God chooses a moment, when He marks a day, He does so with precision that leaves you humbled. October 3rd is legendary because it is the appointed time. All the delays you endured were not evidence of neglect. They were proof of preparation. Every locked door was waiting for the right key, and now, on this day, the sound of unlocking will echo through your soul. Chosen one, the weight of this miracle is not measured by size alone, but by significance. It may come as a financial release that changes your circumstances, or as a reconciliation that heals wounds you thought would never close, or as an opportunity that redefines your path. Whatever its form, the miracle will carry undeniable weight. It will feel as though God Himself reached into your story and rewrote entire chapters. The people around you may not understand the magnitude of what has happened, but you will feel it in every fiber of your being. It will be as if the burden that held you down for so long has been lifted in an instant, replaced by a freedom you almost forgot was possible. This is what makes October 3rd a legendary day. It is not just an event, but a transformation. The old version of your life cannot continue past this day. The shift is too great, the arrival too powerful. You may even struggle to recognize yourself when you look back at the person you were before this moment. That is the essence of a miracle. It redefines, it renews, it resurrects. God is not interested in temporary fixes. He is committed to eternal change. And the miracle that arrives on October 3rd is proof of that commitment. Do not underestimate the silence that preceded this day. For years, it may have seemed as though heaven was quiet, as though your prayers disappeared into the air without a reply. But silence is not absence. Silence is preparation. While you thought nothing was happening, God was arranging, aligning, and preparing something legendary. And now that the day has come, you will see that the silence was never empty. It was full of purpose. October 3rd is the evidence that God has been working all along, weaving together the invisible threads that now tie into your visible miracle. What is arriving is not fragile. It is not something you need to fear will be taken away. It is steady, solid, undeniable. The miracle is built to last because it comes from the hands of God, not from fleeting circumstances. That is what separates a legendary day from an ordinary one. On ordinary days, good things may come and go. But on a legendary day, what arrives is meant to stay. It establishes a new foundation beneath your feet, one that cannot be shaken by storms or stolen by opposition. The security of this miracle lies in its source, and because its source is God, its permanence is guaranteed. October 3rd will not only bless you, it will change how you see yourself. For too long, you may have lived in survival mode, identifying yourself with struggle and delay. But when the miracle arrives, it lifts you into a new identity, one anchored in blessing, one rooted in favor. You will begin to see yourself not as someone who barely makes it, but as someone chosen by God to carry evidence of His power. This legendary day will become the mirror that shows you who you truly are, a child of divine favor, one whose story cannot be explained without mentioning God. And once it arrives, there is no turning back. You cannot return to the old way of seeing things because your perspective will be forever changed. That's the nature of a legendary day. It alters the way you interpret your entire journey. Even your past struggles will look different in the light of this miracle. The pain that once made no sense will suddenly seem like preparation. The closed doors that frustrated you will now look like divine protection. The delays that tested your patience will reveal themselves as necessary alignments. October 3rd redeems your story, giving meaning to every moment that led up to it. There are days that simply come and go, slipping through the calendar like sand through your fingers. And then there are days like October 3rd, where every second feels like it was carved by eternity, where every breath carries the fragrance of something beyond this world. A legendary day is not only about what happens within those 24 hours, it's about the waves it creates, waves that stretch far beyond the horizon of what you can see. This is the nature of October 3rd. The miracle that arrives on this day does not stop with the moment. It expands, multiplies, and reshapes the days, months, and even years to follow.